back on. Alright, so your thing is finally on charge.
Alright.
So yeah, let's go on to some of our reviews for the movies that we've seen so
We
far.
keep getting technical difficulties. Our third round, so let's keep going.
I mean, hopefully this is our first time. This is what's gonna happen.
We'll figure
So
it out.
we're gonna figure it out, but we can go right. But it goes into a great transition for like the reviews, right? It's a great transition. So our first movie that we're gonna review is The Northman. We saw it on Thursday.
We did.
It's by Robert Edgar, the same director who did The Witch and The Lighthouse.
I've seen The Witch. I remember how it being extremely different than other movies I've seen. I have not seen The Lighthouse, so
Which is really weird. It's a really weird
So
movie.
I guess they falls back into those kind of.
It's so when you watch The Northman, it's definitely a Robert Edgar style movie. Like it's a
tell.
specific style of his, right? Where it's
A lot of symbolism.
it's a bit more of a slow burn, a lot of symbolism, but a lot of things that you kind of have to digest, right? Like this is so and so, and this is happening, right? Now, The Witch is, I believe, is a horror movie, and The Lighthouse is, I don't even know how to describe that, but what we have is a Northman, right? This is a period drama, right? Or I guess that's what you could say, right? And we have, and it's really funny because when you look into this movie, right, it's all about Vikings, right? That's what screams from this film. But never did I anticipate that this was gonna kind of be an iteration of like a Hamlet story. Like I kept telling him, like, this is what Hamlet's all about. And then I was expecting certain, and I'm not gonna spoil too much, but things happen where you're kind of like,
Apologize.
okay.
There may be spoilers. We're trying not to,
But when you watch The Northman, you get those vibes, right?
Mhm.
But I love how Robert Edgar really tries to not just show the beauty of the whole like period and the whole production and all that, right? But just trying to show that this is a Viking who is vengeful, right? Who lost his, title, his father, he lost everything, now he wants vengeance, right? So the question is, not the question, but when you watch this movie and you see that it is a slow burn, no, not a doubt, but that's kind of the whole point of it, is that you're trying to see the growth of this character, knowing that he just witnessed this whole tragedy in his life, and now he's finally got this opportunity to finally fulfill his vengeance, right? And just from going off that, like when you go through the whole journey of it, it's like you kind of, you're very tuned in to the story.
Oh yeah, you are. You barely. Everything just in the background just fades away. You're just so focused on this one movie you're watching.
This one movie. And just the way that you're seeing the chemistry between the characters, especially him with that Viking girl. I don't think she was a Viking girl, but she was like...
Wasn't she like kind of like a witch? Or
she was a sorcerer. Played by Anya Taylor-Joy.
But those characters...
And the performances by the cast, oh my lord. They all were phenomenal. Nicole Kidman, Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor.
Those transitions between their personalities, spot on.
So, and just seeing the rawness of their performance, and I was just like, wow.
You can barely tell they're like different people playing a part. They really got into these characters.
They were really deep into their whole character. It was just so good. Like, and I personally feel like this was my favorite movie from the director, because
I agree.
You have the great production, you have this amazing story, then you have the performances from the cast who really elevated the story. It's like, I don't think there was a moment where I felt like, oh man, I'm getting bored. Like, because it's a slow burn. It's still a slow burn.
Yes, but you were still just, I remember the crowd where we were in, they were just like, there was dead silence at the very end.
Yeah, because it's just kind of like, oh my god.
You know how everyone usually just stands up and leaves and everyone just starts talking?
Yeah.
I didn't get that this time.
Everyone's just like, whoa, this is the movie that we got. And, I mean, the nice part is that when we saw it in Dolby. And, oh lord, the sound and just to see the visuals, it definitely enhanced our movie watching experience. Because, like, now, this isn't a movie... Like, this isn't like an Avenger movie where it's gonna be like a blockbuster. It's gonna be like a movie that's gonna make maybe $30 million. I don't know. I don't know if they posted the box office for
Who
this.
knows? But they all overall a good movie.
Really,
may not be
movie.
For everybody, but the acting performance was.
One thing I will say is very violent.
Oh,
very violent. But I think that's just what a Viking is. They're very.
They didn't sugarcoat it. It's not a sugarcoat.
It's not a sugarcoat.
It's reality.
I mean,
sometimes.
But it was such. I
did mention it to my parents. Like, this is something maybe you would be interested in. Maybe nobody else. Like, my house, they all have a different, way of seeing movies and how they prefer some movies to the other. But I told my parents, this is probably a movie you guys will actually really enjoy. And I did mention there's a lot of violence, and my dad's like, okay, I'll see. But Mom's not so inclined, but I told her it was a good movie. I didn't get bored. You've seen me get bored during movies.
Oh yeah. I mean, you slept a little bit in the movie, but that was just because you were really tired.
I was extremely tired. I had a long day at work, and it was just a lot of things going on.
But you saw the big parts, and you just saw the transition and how everything was just evolving in terms of its story.
Time didn't feel as long as other movies. It felt like time went slow.
What just happened?
I don't know. I heard the clicky sound. Did the camera go off?
No, your camera's still on.
I don't know. Is it yours? Is it mine?
Yours.
In what way?
It's just showing some weird stuff. Hold up.
I heard it transition to a click.
Okay, you're back on. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what's going on, honestly. Cameras never work the when you want it to work.
I was like, okay, that was
weird. Overall, Northman?
Northman was a great movie. I think if I were to rate it, it'd definitely be a 4 out of 5, maybe even 4.5. It was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I mean, it definitely was up there. Like, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. So, yeah, let us know what you think of the Northman.
Have you guys seen it? Would you guys want to see it? Because I know it's not a movie people see, on a regular basis.
Fix your light a little bit here. There you go.
Alright. So, let us know.
Yeah. And so, that's the Northman review. Our next review is The Bad Guys that we saw just 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, I think. It was Friday.
It was Friday. It was a very busy... Considering that this is a movie that didn't have a Dolby or an IMAX.
It's digital, but I think it's because it was also a Friday. A lot of families were, off of work now. Their kids are out of school. It's something people do on a Friday night, maybe not a Saturday night,
But it was a pretty busy theater.
I was practically full.
It was basically full.
Yeah.
But The Bad Guys, that's the movie where we basically just a kid-friendly
It's a kid-family-friendly movie. We gotta see all types of movies. We were going from the violence to
kid-friendly. It's really funny because this is a really good week in movies in general. It's like just the Northman, you have The Bad Guys, and then you have The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Although we saw that actually last week in a screening, which we'll talk about in a second.
But The Bad Guys, I think, was a good movie for a family.
It was a cute movie. Predictable, but what do you want? Like, this is supposed to be a kid-friendly movie, right? I really enjoyed it. I think it was fun.
It was his DreamWorks, wasn't it?
I think so.
What was the last DreamWorks movie there has been? I can't think of it on top of my head. But I think DreamWorks did a pretty good job.
I'm gonna look it up for you. But yeah, keep on talking about the movie as I look it up.
It's a different kind of movie. Like, you're seeing from the bad guy perspective, But we also remember Shrek also had the bad side perspective too. But overall, I think it was a good movie.
The last one was The Boss Baby, which was last year.
was it the first or the second?
Second one was like called Family Business. So.
But that's streaming off of like as a sequel. This is like,
which even then I never even seen it. So I felt like this was a really good movie. I think it might do well at the box office. I thought it was a fun movie.
I think it was fun. It was
predictable but fun.
But every family friendly movie usually in the cartoon sense, there's some predictability.
Exactly. So it was just a fun movie. It had a great visuals. That's all I can really say about it. I mean, it was just something that you can definitely take if you definitely don't want anything violent like The Northman, right? You want something a bit more mellow, mild, nothing too long too, because The Northman was 2 hours and 20 minutes. This one was like an hour and 40. So I thought that The Bad Guy was just a fun movie.
They kind of broke the fourth wall on some.
They broke the fourth wall, but they also kind of just challenge a lot of things. Because, yeah, the whole point of the movie is that they're trying to, trying to overcome the stereotypes, right? Like, almost going the whole Zootopia route. You know what I'm saying?
I can see what you're talking about now.
It's like, I mean, Zootopia is great. Like, do I think that it's better than Zootopia?
No.
But
it's up there.
It's up there. I mean, Bad Guys does something for it where it's just like, okay, it's going into the whole, like, stereotypes and
there hasn't been many cartoon animation in that sense in theaters as much as before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I can't wait for Lightyear though. That's gonna be good.
Oh, I'm like.
That's gonna be a good.
That's something gonna be interesting.
I can't wait for that one, but yeah, no. I mean, that's all I can really say about The Bad Guys. I mean, it was just a cute movie. I know a lot of people had laughs in our theater, and that was just about it.
Oh yeah, I remember this one person like on the same row as us. They were really into the movie.
Really into it. A lot of kids were into it.
Yeah, and
that's the whole point.
That's a good thing. I think I accomplished everything I wanted to do.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's all we can say about The Bad Guys. It's just a cute, family-friendly film. If you have a whole family that just wants to see something that isn't violent.
But if you guys want to watch it, I think it's a good. We were in there.
We were in there. It was a good movie. We ate our poke bowls.
I know not a lot of people would want to see like a cartoon-looking movie, but you would be surprised how many good movies are out there. We've seen some in black and white. We've seen cartoon. We've seen violence. We've seen different. It's just all about seeing the different animations and how each animation studios does things. Like, yeah. So.
But yeah. That's all we have to say about The Bad Guys. So let us know what you think. We recommend
I admit that some of the music is really good.
Yeah. I
know you know what scene I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about now. But yeah, go ahead and watch it. I feel like it's definitely, I mean, this is a great movie. This is a great week for movies in general, but definitely would recommend.
And I know some are going to have negative, positive, but that's in every movie.
Exactly.
So we understand.
So, but yeah, so that's our review for The Bad Guys. The next one we have is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. We actually saw this in a investor screening last week.
We did.
So this is the Nick Cage movie where it's like
starring Nick Cage,
where we have a fictional Nicolas Cage who is kind of in a struggling period of his career, and all of a sudden he's now involved in a mafia. That's how.
Kinda, but he didn't know.
That was a little. I mean, I think the overall sense is that this is a Nick Cage movie, right? Nicolas Cage has had some very interesting movies in the last few years. Although I will say one thing, his last movie, Pig, amazing.
I haven't seen that one, so I can't judge it now.
But here's the thing, Nick Cage is a great actor, even if he is known for overreacting, right? But I feel like this is the perfect movie for him.
Starring himself,
where he is overreacting. Although I don't feel like he was overreacting.
I feel like his acting, I knew when he was acting, and knew when he wasn't acting. It's just that his, like, I don't know how I could explain it. His acting method with this movie was, like, you could see when he's overacting on purpose.
Which
like,
is...
It's something he does. So I think he did really well with his own acting.
But here's the thing, right? Because, like, the whole point of this movie, right? It's kind of... I was telling you this, like, right? This is... It's not a mockumentary, but it's, like, mocking, in a sense of like being an actor in Hollywood, right? And this is where I was saying, oh, this is like Tropic Thunder type of film where it's like they're mocking Hollywood. Well, not mocking, but trying to.
A lot of people, I feel like they're making their character overact on purpose.
Yeah, I mean the whole point of the movie is that they're trying to.
They're like they
sort of make a movie.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird.
It's kind of like they're bad acting, but it was good acting.
It was good. One of the things I loved was the chemistry between Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage. Just seeing these two, just like the bond that they were having. I mean, Pedro Pascal, you can't really go wrong with him. Like he's such an amazing actor. And I mean, this is the perfect film for him because he can do anything. He could be a DEA agent in Narcos to being the flamboyish Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones, and now here we are, just this really innocent guy who just wants to become a screenwriter and make it big now that Nicolas Cage is here.
Because when he was talking about a screenplay, he's talking about it, you can see his like just like how he's characters, and when he's trying to act, it's just a little bit funny.
But I think the overreaction was it was done on purpose, right? It's just trying to show that these are people trying to make a movie and they gotta overreact. And the whole point of the whole movie is that it's basically Tropic Thunder, and here's the thing, right? I thought it was a fun movie, right? The performances were great, the guys were hilarious. But I definitely felt like that last act was very quick.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there was a missing connection. There was just nothing.
It wasn't just missing connection. It was just so fast. Like everything was just happening so fast. You're kind of just like, okay.
A lot of loose ends.
Lots of loose ends.
There's a lot of loose ends.
But now that after we talked about it, I was like, like maybe this was done on purpose. Cause think about it from the end, like. Not gonna go into spoilers, but the ending, like what happens in the ending, maybe it was done that way to kind of show that. Because now remember, the guy's supposed to be an amateur screenwriter, right? He's writing his first ever movie, and this could be how he writes because this is his first time.
I heard a click.
Yeah, it's another click. It's doing that again. Don't worry. Alright. There you go. Back on. But yeah, no, just overall, I feel like it was done on purpose, right? I think even the third act with like how it just quickly ended was done on purpose. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's like overall, I liked it. It was hilarious. Did I feel like it was what I expected? Like, did it reach my expectation? I would say it's sort of there. But it's like, I was expecting a lot more in a sense, so it's kind of like...
This took a long time to build up.
It took a long time to build up. And there was definitely a few things that were kind of like, okay, this doesn't really make sense. And then they bring in, the two, I think it was like FBI agents, and they kind of were just there. They didn't really serve a purpose that much.
They did a little bit, but overall... No.
I just felt like there was some things that were lacking.
Felt real short with them.
Felt really short, and...
They were there, and then
they were gone. So...
They didn't really contribute as much as overall, so...
Exactly. So I felt like it was okay overall, of course. But, I mean, for me to rate it, I would probably say...
Ooh.
My dad. It's okay.
Like a 3 out of 5, maybe?
I'll give it a 3.5 at best. I think it was a fun movie. Is it like my favorite? No. I don't think I would be like, oh, I'm gonna rewatch it or something like that. But it was fun. Just the story wasn't as what I would have wanted it to be.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it was just a lot. It was too rushed at some points, and it was a long time building up at some points.
But performance was great.
Their acting.
Nicolas Cage and Pedro
Memorable.
Memorable.
That's what it is. Memorable.
Memorable. So yeah, that's what we thought. I know a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people liked it.
There's a lot of mixed in there, so I don't know how other people will react to it.
I think a lot of people have liked it, but some people haven't. I mean, we thought it was there, but like not at our expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just let us know what you think. Did you like it? Have you seen it? Check it out, right? And then finally, our last review is for Everything Everywhere All at Once. You finally saw it. I saw it twice.
Yeah, so I saw it once, but when did it come out? Like what?
Came out like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So just in case you guys haven't seen it, probably a good chunk of you have, but we don't know. But for sure, you saw it twice, so you got a different perspective this time around. You got to see something. Started looking at the surrounding details and just seeing it overall. Well, I'm trying to keep up. It was just it was a lot of things going on at once. A little bit confusing at some points, but I feel like this kind of movie, you would want to see it twice to get, a better handle on it, I guess you would say. But
no, I mean, this was a great movie. I mean, you're bringing the multiverse, right? But it's, even with all the action and all the themes of the multiverse and all that, there's a nuance to it, right? Mm-hmm. It isn't just a action movie. It's not just a multiverse movie. There is a... but the overall thing is that it kind of goes into the dynamic between a mother and daughter, right? Mm-hmm. This very complicated relationship between a mom and a daughter. The cultural, because they go into that a little bit in the movie, like the cultural restrictions and the customs and traditions.
And family issues here and there, like how they have to work through things. There's a lot of, everyone deals with things differently.
Mm-hmm. But the overall thing is that this is kind of going into, I was going to the more psychiatry of it, because because the whole point of what's happening is that we have, a villain. I don't want to go into the spoilers of it, you know what I'm saying, but
just in case, even though it's been 2 weeks, we don't know who's seen it, who's not seen it.
Yeah, but knowing what the villain is, there is an aspect of, okay, it goes into the nuance of depression, right? This is what this movie's about. It delves into that mindset, like this is what's going on, and the whole point and the whole journey of this movie is trying to find acceptance, you would say,
or people just to understand as well.
Just to understand, yeah, that would be a better way to phrase it. Or
having them see the way they see it. Mm-hmm. So I think that was more one of the huge topics. They remember how I can't say it. I can't.
You can't say it.
But you know what I mean. That what scene when they're.
But there's a lot of metaphors.
Yeah, are
a lot of metaphors, kind of going into the mindset of how people are feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Especially because this movie really goes into a lot of different problems that have happened, right? Whether it be the marriage, whether it be the relationship between mother and daughter, whether it be the financial struggles, right? It goes into all of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of struggles. Each and every character have their own struggles.
Yeah, and you can see the growth. You can see the evolution of that story with all the cool stuff in the background with the action and all that, and of course the performances, especially by Michelle Yeoh. She is great. I mean, when you look into this movie, you really get like a much more of a multiversal part, like not multiversal, like a multiversal version of Turning Red. Basically, that's basically how I was explaining it to you.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that to me.
It was basically like watching Turning Red, but in a multiverse sort of way.
But this one shows a lot more of what people actually face in real life. Mm-hmm. And it was more like Turning Red was more of like just one dynamic. This one had like just a variation of each.
There was.
One character had like 2-3 struggles going on. One has one, but they all are interconnected in a way.
That you could have said it better. You couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, I mean, I know that I saw it twice, right? So the first time I felt like
overwhelmed, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little overwhelmed, but then when I watched it the second time around, I definitely started to see a bit more of a deeper meaning of the movie that I may have missed the first time around.
There's some things they had in there. They're just a comedic sense. It was funny.
It was funny. It was great. I mean, this movie had literally everything, right? The metaphors, the action, the symbolism, the dynamic between the characters. It literally had everything. Like, I'm trying to avoid.
Was it a movie that everybody would want to see? No.
I don't think it. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people love it so far. But it's not for everyone.
No,
it's not for everyone because it does. Because it's an A24 movie, of course. It's a very unique type of, because those movies, because they've produced movies like Made Sumner and all that sort of stuff, right? And it's not for everyone, right? But they really do something different.
They do.
And Everything Ever All at Once is different, right? It gives you a different perspective of multiverse story that isn't necessarily like a superhero movie like Doctor Strange, or No Way Home.
And the title now kind of makes sense.
Everything Ever All at Once.
So unless...
But it's a very... I thought it was a great movie. I would have given it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Agree.
It's a really good movie.
I think I just need to watch it one more time.
I feel like if you watch it one more time, you'll definitely feel like there was a deeper... Like, you'll appreciate the movie more.
Yeah.
But
I still appreciate the first time around because there's a lot of struggles. But you get that, like, you feel that from the characters overall and how they interact with each other and what they're doing and how they're doing things.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's all I have to say about it. Is there anything else do you want to add to that, or?
No, I think
we're good.
Everything on that.
All right.
Hopefully people actually do see it.
It's a great
at
movie.
least once. You don't have to watch it twice, but that's just me. I just like watching things.
It's a good movie. So hopefully you all watch Everything Ever All at Once. It is a great movie. But yeah, and that's all the reviews that we have for this week.
If you guys have other movies that we wouldn't see, because there's a lot of movies that we see that you might not see, and you guys might see, oh, this is a good movie. We made it be maybe one of the like smaller films that we don't know, or we try to, but there's just some movie we just can't get to.
Yeah.
So maybe there's not even a movie that's already came out and we've seen something similar to what we discussed that we like that you guys can mention to us. So who knows?
Yeah. So I'll put you back on one last time to sign out. All right.
We'll fix that hopefully.
We'll definitely fix. But yeah, I mean, this is our first show. I mean, there's going to be issues here and there, and hopefully we'll have all that resolved. I'll make sure to charge all my cameras.
Have better production, hopefully, but this is just something you want to just do on just on a regular.
Yeah, we're just
our car conversations about movies on the way back home, or just talking about it, or just extensive. So
it really goes into that, and that's why we wanted to start this show off. And hopefully we will see the growth of it in the future.
And I know for me personally, like, she's seen so much more than I have, so I may not have the same perspective she does, or not be able to comment as more because she really enjoys movies.
Yeah.
I'm still like getting into it, so it's gonna be, it's not gonna be like I will have so much to say, but slowly I'll get to that point because I'll finally seeing things that she sees and understand more. So who knows? We'll see what comes out next.
Yeah. So that's all we really have for this show today, in our very first show that hopefully we'll see you improve upon. But next week we hope to talk about Moonlight, hopefully.
I think more
for you.
Maybe next one would be more of a Marvel based.
It's gonna be very Marvel
We're
based.
gonna see predictions.
Because we're also gonna be talking about Doctor Strange, giving our final predictions. I feel like there won't. Hopefully.
Sadly, I won't be able to touch more on that because I haven't seen the trailer.
But I'll have an assignment.
All right.
But one thing I'll also say is that there isn't a lot of movies this week. There's only one, I think. It's Memory with Liam Neeson. So that's probably gonna be the only movie review I'm probably gonna have. And then the following we'll be talking about Doctor Strange, although you probably may or not be here, but we'll talk about that later. So, I mean, that's all for what we have now. I mean, we can't wait to continue this show on, and hopefully we'll resolve a lot of the technical stuff.
But it's okay. Trial and error.
Trial and error. But yeah, I mean, I'm Fariba, so...
I'm Marilyn.
Alright.